Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Sunday, November the 3rd, the year 2019. Let's talk trading. Weekly open and gap. We started a new month on Friday, so I know all of you are continuing with your excellent money and risk management, and that you are not going to lose more on any one particular trade than you are willing to lose. And as you can see here, we have some gaps that haven't filled, including the dollar yen. You can see here, this is the, I believe that's the weekly pivot. Or is that the weekly mid dot? I sometimes forget because it's hard to tell between the purple. I do believe that's the pivot. Let's just verify that. Pivot true. Yes, weekly pivot. So we're probably going to trade towards the 108.44 here, which we're going long. Okay, to hit that pivot. But take a look here. These are the pairs that haven't filled the gap. These are opportunities. Now I know this is the, it's easier to see here. That's definitely the previous week's midpoint. So for the year, we're 142 pips below the yearly open. For the month, we're up 21 pips, and for the week and day, we're up a total of 3 pips at the moment. Not much range, you can see that. But things should be very interesting this week, considering Friday was the first day of the month and Monday's the first day of the week. We're going to have these two zones possibly overlapping, the first trading day of the week and first trading day of the month. And here you can see the first trading day of the year. We popped out of that a couple of days ago, trading days ago, that is, Thursday, and you see what happened. And just showing the weekly zone here once again. Actually, we're looking at the monthly range here, but showing the weekly. Now, remember, average monthly range over the last 24 months is 315 pips here. This is on dollar yen. So price is going to have to move significantly away from that monthly open. Okay, it's just something to be aware of. But remember, boys and girls, fellow traders, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine. And that when you engage in trading, you have to remember that it's very risky and you can lose all your money. That being said, if you're seeking advice, you should seek it from an accredited financial professional. That way, when you lose your money, you know you got the advice from an accredited financial professional rather than somebody you stumble across on YouTube or someplace else on the internet. Okay, we got that disclaimer out of the way. Lots of inside bars here on the daily from previous day. And that's really interesting when you think about it. Friday, November 1st, was NFP day. Why do we have so many inside bars? It just doesn't make sense. And look at the week. We've got a bunch on the week and just a couple on the month, but there's some inside bar action from here we got 12 months ago, 16 months ago. And you can see where the yen is with those inside bars. Now there's a trader out there that's just racking in the pips using this simple method. And so far, just like I said, pretty lackadaisical, except for the new beast, the pound New Zealand, 88 pip range so far. Everybody else, nothing to write home about. And the holos, I mean, once again, with no range, it's not even worth looking at it. As far As the buy zone goes, you can see here that the pivot was between the short zone and the open. So no real bias here, no real action. But, based on previous behavior, we're probably going to hit that pivot. And what I would look forward to doing is, maybe I'll show you on the another chart. Once again, not enough range for the rat zone. So you can see here we've got the green above, pink below, because here's the high. So the zones are overlapping in a ridiculous way because we go 20 pips off the low, 20 pips off the high, and you can see here there's just not enough separation. Okay, what I was going to show you, see the monthly pivot down here. Here's the daily pivot. Here's the weekly pivot. I would wait to see if price hits this daily pivot. Then I would go long looking to take out that weekly pivot later in the week. So that's the way I would play that trade. And why would I play it that way? Well, one, we know it likes to take out the pivot. But you see this big bar here? Price just seems to like to go back to the open of big bars. You see this big bar here? Here's the open. It took a while, but you see price returned. And you see there's some big bars here. It took a while, but once again, price returns to the open of those big bars. You can see some big bars here and here. Well, what happened? Price returned to the open. It's just something that I've observed. And, you have to trade what you see. Then again, you could just, wait for the buy zone to trigger here, head towards the weekly pivot, set your stop accordingly. Or if you think if you can ride it out, you might, and if it comes back down here, you might even want to add to the trade. So you have to figure out how you want to play it. Once again, showing that daily pivot here. That hasn't been hit yet today. We had those two missed pivots. Okay, from last month. One here in September, 3 in May, and 1 in April. But I'm just wondering how long it's going to take to wipe out all these missed pivots. And just in the weekly, you can see here we missed one. The 108.44 so far, that's this week's, but we missed one here, 107.88, 87.7 right here. Almost took it out, but just barely missed it. As far as monthly, you see we've got a missed pivot, which I think is going to get taken out too. So there's another reason to trade to the north. But that's just how I see it. You may see it differently. And price is just stalled here. So I would look to buy here and short here because price probably is not going to stay within this 10 pip range. It could, but I doubt it. Just like here, I expect it to escape one or the other of the wick zones. I could be wrong. And right now, there's no horizontal line crosses. Really close. You see, it's about 0.78 pips away. And you can see here on the Einstein line, there's just not much happening. It's very quiet right now, even at the tick level. Okay, on the range, look forward to at least get to the open plus or minus half of the average trading range. The ATR 2 is the minimum, and the ATR 4 looks like it's the maximum. I was trying to see. We were looking at these bars since the high low. Excuse me. on M1. I'm not sure. I don't remember what we were doing on that particular day, but usually what I like to look at is on the hourly bar since the daily high low when I look for retracements. As you can see here, we're looking at the weekly and monthly wick zones using the TRO HL5 indicator here. I'm trying to think if there was any other questions. There's still some traders trying to figure out how they can trade on their schedule. I guess they have to go to work. I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, if you get the email like I do, I mean, there's so many systems out there that these guys say, oh, yeah, 5 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, give me 10 minutes and you can make thousands of dollars. I mean, maybe one of those systems will work for you. I don't know. There's just so much out there, and it's pretty funny, I think, because there's this one. It's like every day they want to give you a free indicator, but to get that free indicator, oh, you have to subscribe to this, and then on the next page, oh, you have to subscribe to something else, and give them your email address, and then they'll give you the download. And meanwhile, they're trying to sell you this other indicator for $37. I mean, it's just marketing madness out there. They use the, secret, only 500 left. I mean, they try and push every button that you have to get you to, click buy. It's, trading, I mean, you can stock price or you can wait for it. And so when I was describing these trades earlier, and this is what I'm looking for. I'm going to look for that pivot and then a reversal off the pivot to hit this pivot. That's just how I'm analyzing the dollar yen here. It might work, it might not. I don't know. And that's why you have to use a stop loss. Because the thing is, you have to remember trading is dealing with uncertainty. And so many people are looking for certainty. Well, you can have certainty in some cases, and a stop loss that gives you certainty. For the most part, that's the worst thing's going to happen to you on each and every trade is you're going to get stopped out. And then I saw some statistic where if you risked 5% of your account on each trade, I think it was something like you had a 1 in 5 million chance of blowing your account or something like that. I found that kind of interesting. That's saying if you have $1,000 account and you risk $50 each trade, I mean, the chances, I guess, of experiencing 20 losses in a row is pretty, crazy, but I don't know because in trading, it's hard to say. I mean, did you put the trade on? Did you have an opportunity to make a pip? Maybe that's all the opportunity you had was to take that one pip. So chances are most traders don't take one pip. They're looking to make 5 or 10. And so that winner, that one pip winner turns into a stop loss loser. And then maybe they do it again and again and again. But I don't know, 20 times in a row, 20 losses in a row. I'm curious if any of you guys keep track. What's the most number of losses you had in a row? It'd be interesting. So, fellow traders, as you go forward in the week, just remember it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So, drain the banks. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please do. And then click down here for the bell so you get notified when I upload a video. And I guess if you guys could share these videos on other forums or platforms or send them to your buddies and tell everybody to hit the like button, I guess that will maybe move me up in the YouTube world. Okay, thanks again. TheRumpledOne out.